for this?
Welcome back to the Empire Sports and Mind podcast. We got a big show today. We're going to recap some things that happened a little while ago, but still topical. The Giants hiring John Harbaugh. Big news. Team USA men's winning the Olympics gold medal. First time in 46 years since Miracle on Ice. The Rangers trading Artemi Panarin. So while these things may not have happened in the past 2 or 3 days, big things we're going to talk about today. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
We're also going to preview the Yankees. But where do you want to start, John?
A lot of stuff like you just mentioned, Matthew. We had a big hiatus. Happy to be back. This is much needed, this podcast. We have so much to get into. I guess we'll get into the Giants hiring John Harbaugh. I think that was the biggest story since our last podcast. Giants, I mean, right away, Matthew, he gets let go of the Ravens. And right away, like Adam Schefter, I think 10 minutes after the Ravens let go of Harbaugh, Giants, that's their top target, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
And this had to get done. It got done pretty quickly. He had like one visit. He technically left the building, but then they ended up getting the deal signed the next day. So that's, exciting hire, Matthew. Now, look, I did talk about, I think, a couple weeks ago on the podcast. I'm not a big fan of the CEO-style head coaches. This one is an exception, though. I think John Harbaugh, obviously, every single year the Ravens were relevant, Matthew. They always made the playoffs. They always were a Super Bowl contender. Obviously, they haven't made the big game since he faced his brother. And won against the Niners in that I think it was like 2010 or whatever. That was the last time he made it to the big game, but always consistent success. He developed Lamar Jackson into a pretty solid quarterback. He's obviously, look, you say what you want about Lamar, but he is a top 5 quarterback at least top 10 in the league. Mm-hmm. And he was a big part of developing him. So John Harbaugh, great hire. The Giants are really, Matthew, they have a core, like we mentioned in previous podcasts. They have a core on defense. They have, and I looked, they have offensive players that you want to build around. They have a team here. Now, will John Harbaugh be the difference maker here? You go, are the Giants, I have people saying, they're going to win 8 games. They're going to win 8, 9 games. They're going to be a playoff contender. I don't know if I believe that. I had to see it until I believe it. But I do think the Giants are really, they're really in the right direction here with this head coaching hire. It was probably the best head coaching hire they've had since, I guess, Coughlin, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. So really exciting stuff here.
Yeah, there's no reason not to be excited. I think this was I was immediately all for it. I think Harbaugh or Tomlin, those were immediately my 1-2. You want to get winners. I don't know, maybe it's because Harbaugh's now, the Giants coach, and I'm excited about that, but I think the CEO coach works if he's actually like a good CEO, if he's implementing good culture from the top down. And that's what he's done, all levels he's been to. He seems to hire the right people. Even, the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl, Mike McDonald, that was a coordinator under Harbaugh. So you have to give him credit. He knows football. I think he's going to get the most out of his players. He's get the most out of his coaching staff. And that's where, if you have a CEO that's going to get the most out of everyone, I think that's valuable. But I agree, when you have like CEOs that aren't calling plays and they're actually like not contributing to much of anything, then it's a problem. But look, I think there's just no reason not to be optimistic at this point. I like the staff that he put together, a lot of like names. You can like the names. A lot of them didn't see success at the NFL coaching level, like Nagy, offensive coordinator.
Head coaching,
Brian Callahan. But these are names. These are real coordinators. There's a lot of them on the staff. Like you look at Greg Roman was been a coordinator for 20 years in the league, and he's like the 5th guy on the offensive staff. So he's not even a run game coordinator or pass game coordinator. He's like just offensive like assistant. So I think that's all positive stuff. A lot of good like football minds in the room that will be in charge of play calling and actual X's and O's stuff that Harbaugh doesn't necessarily do. And I'm excited. I think I'm happy that he's taken control from Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen is like just like a kind of a figure.
Second fiddle now. He's like second fiddle. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. He is what like Boone is. Boone is just like a silhouette, like whatever they use the analytics. This is good. I want Harbaugh to basically be the GM and the coach and make all important decisions. So Shane is just doing scouting. Fine by me, because he's not been good at being a general manager.
Yeah, like you just mentioned, he should be fired. But I think now you're kind of past that point where he's going to be at least a GM for this year. Maybe if things go south this year, they might end up getting rid of him. But you just mentioned, they brought in a lot of names, and you mentioned Greg Roman as like the third, fourth offensive assistant. I mean, you could say the Giants are kind of like veteran maxing here. They really want like a lot of veteran voices in the room. Now, is that the right? I don't really know if that's the right play. Now I look Matt Nagy. You could look the resume speaks for itself. He won a Super Bowl as the Chiefs offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Now the thing is though, a lot of that offense obviously is Andy Reid, right? He writes the
Yeah,
plays,
for
he
sure.
calls the plays. But Matt Nagy, look, you can't take that away from him. He won the Super Bowl as offensive coordinator. That's on his resume. You can't take that away from him. With that being said, like you said, as the head coach of the Bears, didn't have much success. He was the coach during the double doink. Really, I mean, things went south there pretty quickly after that missed field goal there. But
Yeah.
I like what they're doing. I think that Matthew, the bottom line is if Todd Monken did not get hired by the Browns, that would have been a great offensive coordinator hire. That was like a home run hire. The guy has had a top offense the past like 5 years for the Ravens, like top 5, I think, in pretty much every single category. That would have been a home run hire. Gets hired because he's such a great coach. There was a reason why he got hired as a head coach because people think so highly of him, teams think so highly of him. But that would have been a great hire for the Giants. But look, I think they had a good backup plan. I do like the veteran max thing going on there. I think I think this coaching staff is shaping up to be a pretty good, solid coaching staff. Who was the defensive coordinator they hired?
This guy Denard Wilson. He's young. He's like 37, but apparently he's future.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Who was he? Who was he the coach? Who was he with?
He was previously the defensive coordinator of the Titans, and then before that, he was like the defensive pass game coordinator with.
Yeah, that's just like kind of like a neutral. You can't really get too.
No, you have no idea. This guy's 35 years old.
It's kind of like a wait and see type of high. You can't really get too.
It could be. You hope it's like a McDonald thing where he's young and this guy's gonna be.
I mean,
defensive genius. Yeah. I have no idea, right? This is a TBD. You don't know what he is.
And by the way, that was a great point that you brought up. That McDonald from the Seahawks, he was under Harbaugh as well. I mean, that's a great sign there. Harbaugh, the Harbaugh tree is, really.
And he was very young too. He was like 30.
Kind of came out of nowhere. Like I really, honestly, like if you asked me when I was watching that Super Bowl, who was the head coach of the Seahawks, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you that. I really wasn't following that team that much. But can we I guess we'll talk about the Super Bowl then. That was a great story. Sam Darnold getting it done. I'm so happy for him. He really overcame a lot of hurdles. I mean, this guy had the worst start to a career that, I mean, as worse of a start as bad of a start as it can get with the Jets there. And he goes from seeing ghosts against the Patriots, losing that game like 28-0 to beating them in the Super Bowl. It's quite the story. He always was a solid kid, never gave excuses, always was accountable for his play. So I really couldn't be happier for him. He's just a great guy, and he really deserves it. The Seahawks, man, they had a great year, and just really, I mean, dominated that Super Bowl, Matthew. The Patriots were never in that game. Seahawks always were in command of that game, and you knew they were going to win. From the first score, you knew they were going to win. And by the way, Seahawks, very underrated defense. Their defense played phenomenal.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was awesome. I feel like people didn't talk about their defense as much as they should have.
Right. That's the defensive head coach. I mean, look, they were they were the better team. Patriots were kind of fraudulent all year. Now I'm buying into that. And, they took care of business. They beat all the bad teams, but I think it just showed.
They had a cupcake schedule, man.
Yeah, they just weren't on the same level. The defense was like fine. They were carried. The offense was better. The defense was like average at best, and then the offense was decent. But when you played a good defense like the Seahawks, then you saw what happened. So
I mean, look, you see what happened. Look, Drake May. I mean, the bottom line is he's a second-year quarterback. It's tough for any second-year quarterback to play in the big game. And you saw it. It got to him. There were actually guys. I saw some film afterwards, some clips on Twitter. There were guys open for him to go to throughout the game. I think he was just a little too overwhelmed there. And that's normal. I think that's normal. And I don't take anything away from Drake May. He had an MVP-type season, obviously. Ended up losing the MVP to Stafford. But you can't really take that much away from him. He had a really good year. I think the Patriots' future is bright. I think they're going to be back in the big game pretty soon, Matthew. They have a great coach, great quarterback. They'll be back. Not really too concerned with them. But I think you saw a little bit of just them playing a good team. Look, the Patriots, by the way, getting to the Super Bowl by having to beat Jared Stidham in a fucking snow globe game, that is the easiest path I think any team has ever had to the Super Bowl. I think that's the easiest path. I don't think you can find an easier path than the Patriots had.
Right,
I don't think.
Yeah, it was cupcake. But one other thing about Darnold too, right? Obviously, we can talk about the Jets and the Panthers and overcoming that. Last year too, with the Vikings, right, had the great regular season in the playoffs. He threw 3 or 4 interceptions that one game. So overcoming that too. So
that was,
right.
And by the way, the people are always love, people like you, Matthew. You love clowning the Jets, and rightfully so. It's pretty fun to clown the Jets. I'm definitely part of that movement now. But the bottom line is people are like clowning the Jets, like, oh, the Jets are the real losers here. The real losers with the Seahawks in the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold are the Vikings. The Vikings should have never let go of Darnold. That was the biggest mistake a franchise has made in quite some time here. I mean, you
Well,
go with J. I understand that you have a young quarterback that you draft. It was kind of like a tricky, sticky situation they were in there. But yeah, you gotta keep, dude. The guy won 14 games. Yes, he had a bad playoff performance. I get that, but he still won you 14 games. You had to keep him. I don't know what they were doing. They should have traded away JJ McCarthy while he had some. They probably could have got a first round pick for him, Matthew, if they decided to trade him. They should have done that. This guy won 14 games. It was a no brainer. They completely just botched that decision because McCarthy is not going to be a good quarterback. He showed it this year. He's always injured, Matthew. I think he was injured. He had that injury
yeah.
coming in to being a rookie, and then he got hurt a couple times this year. So he's always injured. Can't rely on him to stay healthy. They completely botch it. They're the biggest losers, not the Jets.
Yeah, and look, it wouldn't have been that unprecedented to move on from a quarterback after, not think about what the 49ers did. They just moved on from Trey Lance. He didn't have it.
And it was pretty, and they moved on pretty quickly too. It was a quick decision.
And they made to the Super Bowl the next year with Purdy. So it's like, you have to do that analysis. And the GM rightfully got fired for that decision. GM got fired this offseason. Makes sense, but yeah, I agree with you on that. Should have kept him. Hindsight's 2020. I remember at the time I thought like, oh well, I don't really know, but I guess we should know as New York as New York football fans how rare it is to come across good quarterback play. So
you're right.
We had Darnold. If we got that Sam Darnold 2024 season on either the Jets or Giants, it's the best quarterback season in the past.
I would say sign that guy to the biggest extension in NFL history. I would say sign that guy to a $600 million.
We've never in 50 years of football over the 21st century from both New York teams, we've never seen play like that. So, I guess looking back on it, it's a no-brainer.
It was just, and it's just scary because I know that, look, it was great to see the Patriots lose. I think everybody in America, other than people in the New England area, were rooting for the Seahawks because everybody, because the Patriots have had way too much success, Matthew. And, I was surprised. It only took them 8 years to get back to the Super Bowl, Matthew. They were only bad for not even bad for 8 years. They made the playoffs a couple times since then, but it took them 8 years to get back. That is crazy to me. 8 years to get back to the Super Bowl. Oh, it's been a long 8 years. I heard from some of my, Patriots friends that are fans of them. It was a long 8 years. Get the hell out of here, man. That's ridiculous. It was nice to see them lose, but Matthew, I got to be honest, they are going to own the AFC East in the next decade. They're going to own that division. The Bills are in the down. I think Josh Allen, obviously, the guy just makes too many mistakes in these playoff games, Matthew. I am so sick and tired of these people making excuses for him. I don't know what it is. This guy just has a certain amount of just people that just glaze him constantly. There's always an excuse for his play. The bottom line is the guy had 4 turnovers in this game, 3 picks, 1 stupid fumble. There's a reason why they lost that game because of Josh Allen he wasn't a good protector of the football. There's a reason why they lost that game, and there's always an excuse. Bills, you saw their owner, Matthew. I don't know what that was a debacle. I don't know if you saw that press conference. That was a debacle there. The guy's like, oh well, it wasn't my, it was our. I don't know what it was. It was like overdrafting. I think Keon Coleman, a wide receiver, I believe, and he said that he kind of said the decision wasn't really the GM's decision. I don't really know. It just looks like a disaster, total disaster there. So I think the Bills are going to be. I think the Patriots.
Right, to fire McDermott just to hire Joe Brady.
I was just about to get into that. Yeah, that was. There's nothing that's going to change here. The guy was called Joe Brady was calling plays. He's still going to continue to call plays. What is going to change within that organization? Nothing. I think Matthew. I think the Jets, if they fire Aaron Glenn, go after McDermott. He's a good coach. Sean McDermott's a great coach.
Well, I would look at
they lost a really good coach to the Bills. I think they should have kept him. Same thing as Harbaugh. The guy gets 11, 12 wins every single year, consistent success. It just comes down to his quarterback not protecting the ball properly in these playoff games. That's why they lose. It's not. I don't really think it's a head coach thing. I'll be honest with you. I don't even think.
Yeah, honestly, and I think that they might overperform every year on that. That roster.
Look at their roster. Yeah, the head coach. Yeah,
and they're usually in the top 10. That defense. You look at it's like Joey Bosa, who's 35 years old, is like a big name. Von Miller was like 38 years old last year. That defense was never had great players, but they are always solid.
No, you're so right. I mean, you look at that. They never, ever since they lost Stephon Diggs, they have never looked to get Josh Allen, this top tier weapon that he deserves. I mean, the guy's a top. Obviously, Josh Allen is probably a top 3 quarterback without debate. And they just don't. I mean, this guy has Shakir as his biggest weapon. You have a couple nice tight ends there, but Khalil Shakir is not gonna as your top weapon, is not gonna win you a Super Bowl. It's just not gonna cut it.
No.
And they're just so reluctant to like get it to him a top weapon. I really don't understand that. So I think you're right, Matthew. That's a good point that you made. I think they're actually overperforming with this roster
Yeah.
that Sean McDermott was given. I think he's overperforming. They lost a great coach. They're going to regret this. Joe Brady is not going to be a good head coach. That guy just, I look at him and I don't see a good head coach in him. I just don't see it. I
I
see a
just
good coordinator. I see a bad head
odd
coach.
to just like fire the head coach just to hire somebody internally. It's like you could have had both, you know? I don't know.
No, you could. No, you could. I really don't. I mean, look, if you were going to make that, obviously that's a big decision to fire McDermott, right? He's a great coach. All right, if you're going to do that, then go outside, go independent, go with another coach, go with like a young coordinator, like the
Or you
Seahawks.
do, or
Go
you
in
like
the other direction.
talk to before you even fire McDermott, like you talk to somebody like Tomlin's agent, he's interested in coming or something. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
uh,
Yeah. And by the way, you're lucky. The Giants are lucky that the Bills didn't fire McDermott before the Giants got Harbaugh, because I think the Bills would definitely would have gotten Harbaugh. Harbaugh would have.
yeah, well, good thing the Bills made it to the playoffs, made a few rounds.
You're right. I think the Bills, yeah, if the Bills lost to the Jaguars, I don't think the Giants would have Harbaugh, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. It would be a different story. That would have sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the way, Matthew, if they didn't get Harbaugh, like who was their backup plan? Who was like the next? There really wasn't that many great candidates out.
There's gonna be Stefanski, but that's a big drop off. I said the
Who
whole
get
time
hired?
it was a big drop
Is he
off.
on who did he get hired by?
Atlanta.
Cardinals? Oh, Atlanta. That's such a random spot. He's not that guy is look, Stefanski is like, I don't really understand the whole like thing with him. It's like they people just claim that he's like an offensive genius. I don't really get the whole thing with that. I really don't. I haven't seen it. I saw
Okay,
Baker Mayfield.
I think he's probably fine. He was never given a good roster in.
You know, he was never, but like I feel like it's just like so like obviously, yeah, he could probably like maybe he's gonna be a good head coach with Atlanta, maybe, right? But I don't think it's a guaranteed thing that people are making out to be like, oh, he's gonna do great things. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. He hasn't won a lot of games. 1 year. What was his best season with the Browns?
He had like 10 wins 1 year. That was it.
This guy's unproven. Like I feel like people are just
right.
are making him out to be like this great coach when he just hasn't proven anything so far. That's my point. I just don't see it. He's got
it's also just a big drop off. You go Harbaugh, like the top tier guys that were available. Tomlin potentially maybe for next year, whatever.
I think Tomlin's gonna. I don't know. There's some reports out there. I don't know if I believe that he's gonna be retired. I don't know. That he's
no, for the right, he doesn't want to do.
it.
He doesn't want to do like the Cardinals' job. Why would he want to do that? He's gonna wait a year. He's being high demand. He's pick a good job next year. We'll see.
Yeah. And that good job's not going to be the New York Jets.
It's not going to be the Jets. But the Jets should.
I could see the Jets going after McDermott. I could see McDermott going there. I could. I think I could.
I mean, yeah, tank commander Aaron Glenn this year.
I mean, look, imagine like you tank, you get the first overall pick, you get Arch Manning, and you get Sean McDermott. That's pretty exciting. I think that's pretty exciting. So things could really shift around here pretty quickly. I mean, look, obviously, I actually saw a tweet today, man. I was going to bring it up. That I don't know, it was like some reporter, I think, for the Giants, some random guy. I don't know where he's getting these sources, but he said that Arch Manning, if the Jets had the first overall pick, he would not do what Peyton did and what Eli did, and he would not avoid playing for the Jets. So that's good.
His family's in New York. That's not crazy, you know, right?
I think that's good. That's good to hear. And by the way, I really like Arch Manning. I think he looked great at the end of this season. I think the last like 10 games of the college season, he was the best quarterback in college football. So this guy has a lot of traits. And look, Matthew, we talked about this, I don't know, 2 days ago about the Jets tanking. I'm all in for the tank this year. I think it makes total sense. Look, what's another bad year when there's already been like 20 bad years? I mean, what's another one going to do? It's either you win 5 or 6 games and you suck forever, or you win 2 and there's a chance that you turn it around. That's where my mindset is right
now. I'm just never a fan of the tank. Like, I don't know.
I don't really care though. Just suck another year. What is it going to do? Like, what is 5 wins going to do for me? Nothing.
No, but who wants? It's just like you're stuck in the same cycle. You've had a second overall pick. You've had a third overall pick.
Yeah, Matthew, we had a second overall pick, and we picked Zach Wilson. Matthew, that was a total debacle. They should have never picked him. This guy was a late riser.
Zach Wilson, no.
Yeah, Matthew, because I took it because I got. Of course I would, but guess what? I'm not the GM. That was not my decision, right? Of course, if I was a GM, I would have, but that's not on me. That's on Joe Douglas. This guy was, a 6th round pick until December. Then he, rises up the draft boards, and now he's all of a sudden the second overall pick. This guy should have never been a 1st round pick. Period.
What about Darnold? Darnold just won a Super Bowl.
No, yeah, of course, that was the right pick, right? You saw the guy just won a Super Bowl. That was the right pick. We had Adam Gates as the coach. It was coaching. It was just the organization as a whole, Matthew. Look, bottom line is this organization is not going to get better until Woody Johnson either dies or sells the team.
Yeah,
but if he dies, the Suns going to take over the team.
More than having one bad year is going to fix the organization.
You take your chances, man. Hey, look,
He's
Matthew,
had a
I
lot
think
of bad years to solve, to fix, get out of this. What's one
yeah,
more
but a
bad
lot,
year?
yeah,
I
but a lot
agree.
of it.
What is one more bad year?
No, exactly. That's my point. And that's my point. What's
What is
more?
one
What's
more
one
bad
more bad
year
year?
in
Because
turning the
because
sheet around?
Matthew, the
What
next year's
bad
draft
years?
class
The
is
last
so
20 years haven't turned the
because
sheet.
you have a very strong quarterback class, so it makes sense to take your chance. Like obviously, they said about this year's quarterback class that was going to be so good. Didn't end up being that great, but next year's guaranteed to be like better than this year. I mean, Mendoza. By the way, I think Mendoza is going to be a shit quarterback. I don't get the hype with him. I really don't. I really don't get it.
No, I
And you
mean,
saw
I don't
that.
know. I would pick him 1-1 if I
I know
if
I would look if yes, I would pick him one, but I just I don't see him being a superstar. I don't see it. I watch him. Look, I know it's one game. I know it's crazy, like Monday morning quarterback. I watched him in that championship game. I didn't get the appeal. I really didn't make a lot of big throws. He actually didn't make any big throws that game. He just had that one rush for the big touchdown rush.
yeah, that was an awesome
Yeah, it
play.
was massive, but I just I don't see it. I don't see the generation. I don't see the number one overall pick talent. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I think
we'll
the bottom
see.
line is you're gonna have the second year in the row where you have a really bad first overall pick. Cam Ward's gonna suck. I don't see anything with
Yeah, yeah,
him.
Cam
And
Ward doesn't.
Mendoza is gonna be a big letdown. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to the Team USA win
Oh yeah.
this Sunday over Canada. Obviously, very exciting. We're all up at 8 a.m. for it. John, what are your thoughts on that? What did you see?
I saw a kind of like a miracle part two, but less of a miracle. I mean, look, Canada dominated that game, man. I mean, they outshot us. What was it? I mean, 40-25 ish. I mean, they were
Yeah,
dominating for the most part of that game. I mean, look, the USA team, this is the best team we've had probably ever. Honestly, I think it's like the best USA team ever assembled, probably. I mean, you look at the teams, the last time we played, the NHL played in the Olympics in 2010, it was not a great team, Matt. I mean, TJ Oshie was the all-star of that team. That's terrible. It
yeah,
was a
right.
bad team on paper. So I saw really it was an awesome moment. It really was. Jack Hughes scoring the golden goal. And I mean Connor Hellebuck is getting a now the what do you call it? The what is he getting from the president?
Medal of Freedom.
The Medal of Freedom. I mean, that's incredible in and of itself. I mean, the guy had a great game. Brick wall. That was like one of the best single game performances I've seen from a goalie ever.
Mhm.
Honestly, like ever. That was incredible. Um, yeah, just a great story. Jack Hughes, just a team that loves playing, that loves representing the United States. You love to see it. It's a great group. As compared to other athletes that really don't care, other athletes that are not interested in really promoting America and not or not and not proud of the country, not proud of
Yeah,
representing the
sure.
country.
Mhm.
It was a nice change of pace, and it was a great story. And first gold since 1980. Crazy, really, really nuts. But it was a long time coming, and really great to see.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked, honestly, by the play of uh really the Canadians. The McKinnon was terrible. McKinnon was like the secret weapon of the United States. Missed an open net, was
Yeah, that was
on
bad.
the game losing play in overtime. That was him. He didn't play the puck for whatever reason. He was like playing the other guy, and then the guy was able to center the puck. Was Werenski from the Blue Jackets. McDavid was terrible. Missed the breakaway. Was otherwise just pretty quiet. When he's the best player in the world. And then McCarr scored the goal, but didn't hustle back on the game-winning goal either. Was just
Mhm.
like, and then had the option to come and kind of cut off the pass and was playing. Just those are your three best guys if you're Canada, and really didn't give you anything. So it really cost you the game actually in the end. So pretty
Yeah.
surprised by that. The USA, I do think it was pretty much. I think it was a miracle. I mean, we were talking about like Jack Hughes is a healthy scratch on Team Canada. Tage
Yeah,
Thompson, like, these are like the big guns.
healthy
He's like a
scratch.
third liner. I don't know. Jack Hughes has like been a point per game player in the NHL. He's not like he's played 400 career games. He has 370 career points. It's
Yeah,
like not
he's a
that
no,
good.
but he's no, he's he I think he's a really good player. I think he's really I mean, him and his brother. I think Quinn Hughes is
He was
probably
much
more
better.
talented than him. Quinn Hughes is an incredible player. I think Jack Hughes is also an incredible player. Say what you want. I think look, you look at the points total. The bottom line is Jack Hughes did not have it took him time to adjust to the league. He did not have a good rookie season,
That's
Matthew.
true.
No, that's
That's
part
true.
of it. He had like I think he had like 20 points in like
Yes. Yeah.
65
Yeah.
games
That's
in
right.
his
That's
rookie year.
bogging down his numbers.
Yeah, it definitely is. I look, I think Jack Hughes, I think, look, say what you look, obviously, Team Canada on paper, they should have won this game. The thing is, though, Matthew, it's one game. If it was a best of seven, I would take Canada in 5 or 6 games, probably. They would probably
Mhm.
win the series. But
Yeah.
one game, anything can happen. You saw that. You saw a great, by the bottom line is, Team Canada got goalie. That's what happens in these one games, Matthew. Game 7, you have a goalie that, like we've seen with our team, Matthew, Igor and Henrik. You get a Game 7, you get a goalie that plays so good in that game, and you can steal a game. And that's what happened with the USA against Canada. They stole that game because of Hellebuck's performance. It was an incredible once-in-a-lifetime performance, and now he's getting honored, with that great Medal of Freedom. So,
yeah.
Look, the Rangers, by the way, that's unbelievable.
Terrible. The Rangers got a lot of credit because the penalty kill went 21 for 21. Honestly, that's
JT Miller. I mean, JT Miller was the slowest guy on that team.
I was going to say he was far and away the worst person to touch the ice in that gold medal game. Far and away, and it really wasn't even that close, honestly.
No,
Trocheck at least his fast blends in. Miller looked really slow, no legs, nothing.
I don't get what happened to him, Matt. I mean, the Rangers traded for him last year. By the way, a trade that made no sense at all. They should have never made that move because of the direction they're going to be in right now. So that move made no sense. And I think ever since they've gotten him, I think he's had some injury concerns. He started the year with an injury, still played through it. You can see that it's still obviously, I don't know what's going on, still nagging him. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't look like the same player when the Rangers when they got him last year, he actually looked pretty good when he came over here.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look like the same player at all, not even close. He looks like a shell of himself. And you saw that he definitely was the worst player to touch the ice. I do agree with that. He was really bad, and was really noticeable how bad. Players are often noticeable in hockey when they're playing really good. He was noticeable in the wrong way, in the wrong direction. Yeah. So he was really bad.
It's so good. And that brings us to the Panarin thing too. I mean,
I
don't know. Look, I thought that we even talked about this on air, but I got that notification and just saw the Rangers were shipping Panarin to Los Angeles. And I had no idea who Liam Greentree was, but I assumed he was some generational prospect who was maybe selected number 3 overall last year or something. And maybe they got picks on top of that. And I don't know. I think it's honestly, this could be freezing cold takes if this guy ends up being a good player. Who knows? I think this might be.
You hope it is. You hope.
Yeah, right. I hope so. This could be the worst trade of all time, honestly.
I just think the whole way the Rangers went about this situation was so poor. Mm-hmm. I mean, just why not send out the letter after you trade Panarin? Why send it out before you trade your franchise guy? Why do that?
You're giving away your card. You have no cards.
You have no cards at all. I mean, the whole league knows that you're going to undergo a fire sale. So why would they give up top talent to acquire your top player? Why are they going to give? Because they know that you're going to trade him in the first place. Why would they give up top talent? What a terrible. I mean, Chris Drury, he deserves to be just, I don't know what it is. Please fire this guy. Get this guy. Ship this guy out. Please. This guy is the worst GM. And to not get, at least a second round pick for Panarin, a guy that was just great for 7 years, still a really good player, point per game player, and to get that return is honestly insulting to the whole fan base. It's really insulting.
Absolutely. I think it's also, I just don't know why you had to commit to 100% trading him. I guess that's doing right by him. But what I would have done is I would have approached him. I wouldn't have publicized it. I wouldn't have put out a letter or anything. I would have said, hey, look at our record. We're not doing that well this year. You're in your final year of your contract. If you want to get moved, we can talk about this. But what do you want for your extension? Maybe 2 years, 11.5. That's nothing in today's NHL.
That's by the way, that's a great move for the Kings. That's a great value on that contract.
If he said, my family's in New York, just extend me 2 years, 11.5. Be like, okay, we're not going to trade you. You'll be part of the rebuild for the next 2 years.
I agree.
That's a steal. 11.5.
But well,
that's what he's been playing on. He's been playing on 10.5, and he's quite frankly deserving of 14.
It's just Chris Drury, he should understand, when you have a guy on a no move clause, you should, try to shop. You say, okay, Artemi, like you said, we're having a bad year. We're going to look to shop you, and we're going to give you 5 teams that have offered us the best players, and pick out of those 5 teams. That's how you work your way around a no move clause. It's not okay, here are all the teams that are offering us something. Pick out of those teams. No, that's not how it works. You're supposed to have some leverage as a team here. I think,
and the leverage as a team could be part of it. Is actually we're not going to deal to you. We'll agree to your terms for the extension. Yeah, you love New York, and you don't be nasty. How hard is it? You say you love New York, we'll re-sign you.
Yeah, that too. But how hard is it to for the Rangers just okay, field offers, get your top 3 offers that you like, and present Panarin with those 3 teams. If he wants to get traded to those 3, one of those teams, great. You ship him off. If not, you look to extend him. That's how you go about the situation. Right. They went about it in such a poor way. And it's a fireable offense. It really is. If I was James Dolan and I saw that trade transpire, I would have fired him a second after he made that trade. Embarrassing, just so bad. But look, we'll speak on our memories of Panarin. I think he was one of the probably the best Rangers player I've seen play on a consistent basis. He was just unbelievable. Just a guy that really delivered, and he was probably the best free agent signing in franchise history.
I think so.
Just look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. He delivered every single year. Now you can say in the playoffs he really didn't, kind of like you didn't really get a lot out of him in the playoffs. But look, at least he got you there, right? I mean, you had to get to
And
the
he had
playoffs.
he had his moments.
He had the game. Obviously, the game. Everyone knows the game 7 against the Penguins
Mhm.
goal. That's an iconic moment. Me and Matthew were both there. That was just amazing to witness. So yeah, just Panarin. I mean, just the first. Like I just remember the first year before COVID. That was just the peak Panarin when he came over here. He has that leg kick. He scores that great goal against the Red Wings. I mean, just the guy was just. He brought like a new energy to this team, and I will always thank him for it. Just great memories. Didn't ultimately get the cup that we wanted when we acquired him. But I really hope he gets it done. I'm gonna root for the Kings now. I mean, it's really tough because they beat us in 2014, but I really want Panarin to get a cup. He deserves it, I think.
He does deserve it. And yeah, he was a great Ranger. I think he's the best player,
And I've
non-goaltender
seen, yeah,
we've watched as I mean,
absolutely.
there's really nobody who comes close, honestly. And
I
so
think close is like Gabrick maybe, but like we really didn't watch
Gabrick
him.
was there for 2 years. It's totally
Yeah,
different. Panarin, right? The skill, maybe Gabrick. Like people will say, like, "Oh, Yager. Yager was there for what 1.5 year."
well,
It's like
no, I think he was there. He had like two separate tenures, I believe. I think he had like 4
Yager.
years, maybe. Yeah, I think he came to the Rangers twice. I think. I don't know. Maybe I
I
could
don't
be
think so. I
wrong.
think he was there. I think he was there like maybe once for 3 years or once
I think
for.
like 3 years. Yeah, he was, but obviously like he was. But you're right though. It's like too short of a
It's
stint.
Panarin was there 7 years. Was excellent all 7 years. I think his numbers should probably be retired. Honestly,
Yeah.
um,
No, it should, but
in
it's not going
MLB.
to, unfortunately. It's not, but
He just didn't play long enough against the Blackhawks, Blue Jackets, but it probably should be. His point totals are, higher
I
than
mean,
some of the guys who are up there.
what was
Great.
that? By the way, that season that he got 120, what was that in the franchise? What was that like at like the most points
I
in the
don't know.
in
It
a
may have
single
been.
season?
I
I mean, it probably was top 5, right? Because he probably
oh,
had
definitely
I
top
mean,
five.
it could be 1 though. Like who
It
else would
really
get
could be
that many
one.
points? Messi didn't get 120. I mean, Leach didn't get 120. Who else got 120? Gilbert? I don't think so. I think he actually that was probably the
Could
most
be one.
points in a
Could
single
be one.
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Um,
just unreal, and the guy was a crazy player, and, gonna miss him. It sucks because he brought, like, a lot of character to the team. He was a good
and he helped it
personality.
just bottom line too, he helped the team rebuild. He took a
Yeah,
less to
I know
come
he did.
here. He helped the team rebuild. The rebuild lasted approximately 6 months. He
Yeah, I
immediately made
know.
the team good, and then,
That
it only
that
went
team,
up
by the
from
way,
there.
that team before COVID, they were in the hunt for making for making the playoffs. They were, like, maybe, like I think when COVID struck, maybe they were, like, 4 points out of the playoff spot. That team was so fun. I don't know if
Yeah.
you like, I just loved that team before COVID. Like, they obviously weren't gonna go pretty far. If they made the playoffs, they weren't gonna go that far, but that team was just so fun. The game before the COVID shutdown was against the Avalanche.
Mika.
They come back,
That's what
20
Mika said.
seconds
Yeah.
left, and they win in overtime. That was a great just like a great team. I don't know what it is. I just have a lot of memories from that year. The Zibanejad goal against the Islanders comes to mind. Just a lot of like good regular
5-goal
season
game.
moments. Yeah. Oh, 5 goal game. That was right before COVID. Yeah, that's right. That season was just so many special
Lundqvist
moments
last
in that
season
season.
too. You just had a lot of
I
stuff
know.
going on.
Just a lot of stuff that transpired that season that I will always remember. And Panarin, just thank you for the memories. Great player. Great guy. I think he's a great person. Say what you want about the allegations. None of that stuff ever got proved. It always got he's been exonerated, I think, from that bullshit. So just great guy,
Yeah,
great player.
I
Thank
don't
you.
I don't know, no comment on that. I don't have enough info, but player was on the ice. Also played 82 games a year, every year, except his one injury during his 10 years of Ranger was when Tom Wilson bashed his head into the ice.
I
So,
know.
look,
Yeah.
nothing you can do about that. Is probably playing through some injuries. A smaller guy got probably absorbed some tough hits. So you have to respect all of that. Look, the playoffs weren't what you wanted to be, but in Eastern Conference, I think the Rangers, this is what they were signing up for. If they, I mean, like that's a very, and I think honestly, he'll probably no. The Kings don't have a lot of star power, but it's possible he thrives this year in the playoffs with the right cast, with better.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at, for example, 2022. That line was Strome, Panarin, Dryden, Hunt. That was your 1, 2, 3. So,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
that's
maybe
such
no
a bad
wonder, no
thing.
shit, he didn't thrive with that line in 2022. That 2024 probably should have been a little better. But even then, the moves they made, Wemberg, Roslovic on the top two lines,
Oh, yeah, those are
moves.
so bad. I mean, you just can't forgive. I mean, obviously, Matthew, that 1 year, you forgot that 1 year he was on the same line with Kane, right? That 1 year in 2023. So that, I mean, yes, but like Kane obviously he was a shell of himself. It's not the same Patrick Kane that won the Stanley Cups with the Blackhawks. It wasn't the same player, not even close.
Mhm.
So just the moves that Jury made. I mean, Wenberg, Rosselvik, these are just like B, C tier moves that just didn't move the needle. They should have. Bottom line is they should have got. I will never forgive Jury. I think you've heard me say this, countless times. They should have got Jake Gensel at the deadline.
Yeah.
They should have gotten him. That was the opportunity. That was the year that they. I mean, obviously that was 2024. That was the year that you had to go all in. The last year of the window. The window. Obviously, we knew was closing. That was the last year. And they didn't do it. They just made like moves on the margin that just didn't move the needle. And then
No.
ultimately that will always be. I don't get how this guy. You talk about all these bad decisions that he's made. I don't get how this guy still has a job. I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it, Matthew. Like, what is it going to take for him to get fired?
He should have been fired like 6 years into his tenure when he traded Bushnevich for the second.
That was the worst. I don't. That was his first trade as a GM, I think, and that was the worst one he's made.
Yeah, honestly,
I mean, just
maybe that should have been it.
he couldn't have started off worse than that. That was such a bad move. Buchnevich for who was it? Who was that guy they got?
Sammy Blais.
Sammy Blais. He was one of the worst players I've ever seen touch the garden ice. He was so bad. That guy was just it did. I mean, just cardio every single night. The guy didn't contribute. I don't think he got a point an entire season.
He didn't score a goal. That was a big deal. He played a full year for goal.
That's. I mean, what was it? 60 games he played. That's embarrassing. That's pretty bad. I really can't say much about that. That's just very embarrassing and just. The Rangers. I mean, just so they're going to be bad for the next 3 to 4 years, probably. You're probably looking at a pretty long rebuild. I mean, you have teams that rebuild and they have like core pieces. The Rangers don't have core pieces. There's nothing to build around outside of like Shesterkin.
I don't know. Meh.
But Matthew, who is the core piece? Adam Fox, I guess. I guess that's a core piece. So that's a major one.
Igor, that's a good. That's one too.
Is it no? Is it really good? Is it really good though? Igor's like 30 years old. By the time you're good, he's gonna be like 35. He's gonna be washed up.
No, you could be a good goalie into your 40s. I don't know.
I mean, you could be okay. You can't be like this. I guess he can be good at 35. He can be having good.
Hellbuck's 31. Yeah. Mind.
Igor's old. He's Matthew. I'm telling you, this is not going to be a short. This is not going to be a Panarin. Like you pick up a guy like Panarin, the rebuild accelerates. It's not going to be that same thing. It's going to be a long, dragged out 3 to 4 year rebuild. I mean, Lafreniere is your probably third best piece, and he stinks. So Zibanejad's not going to be here much. I mean, once his contract expires, he's probably going to leave. Because by the time what is he 32 now? By the time they're good, he's gonna be like 36, 37. He's gonna be done. So just all these guys like JT Miller. It's just this team is in such a bad state. I think the worst state they've been in a while, Matthew. It's really bad. It's not a good outlook at all.
No, it's not good. We'll see. I mean, they do have cap space. So look, you could theoretically, and these guys are Mika now. We were talking about, a year ago, nobody want him. Now on the open market, he'd probably get his contract. He'd probably get 4 years, $8 million. I mean, that's not crazy at this point. So I think he has value. Trocheck definitely has value. Panarin had so much value. In theory, you should have gotten pieces for the rebuild by trading these guys, and you're 0 for 1 with Panarin. What a shame. Green shirt. I really know nothing about him, but I would just say you're 0 for 1.
I don't think I think there's a better chance of the sky falling than this guy being a good player. I don't see the appeal here. I mean, the guy's like, what is he? The 120th best prospect in the NHL. Yep. This guy's not going to be good. I would not count on this guy being a good player at all. It's ridiculous. And what would they get? A third round? What is it? I don't even think it's a third round pick. I think it's a conditional pick, right? It's not even a third round pick.
A 4th round pick that conveys to a 3rd round pick if they win a series.
I mean, what are those terms? You couldn't get a 3rd round pick. What are those fucking terms? It's so bad. Wait, so it's a 4th round pick if the Kings don't win a series?
Look, I don't know. I think it might be a 3rd and a 4th, and then the 2nd, 4th turns into a 3rd or something. It's some garbage. Or both picks are conditional. I have no idea.
It's a complete I don't know what it is, but it's just so bad. It gets me so agitated talking about this team. It's just so bad, and they couldn't have a worse owner too to turn this thing around as well. This guy is just so stubborn in his own ways, Dolan. So I don't see this team getting turned around quick. I don't see it. I'm so negative about the outlook about this. I think it's fair though. It's fair. They're not going to be good. You have to be realistic here.
Something more positive. Let's do the Yankees now. Spring training.
If you want to call it positive.
Look, it's positive because it's a new year. It's a new year. We could maybe in 20 minutes when we're done talking about it, it won't be so positive, but I'm thinking we just go position by position. We just give our quick thoughts on each of the guys there. Maybe we'll start at first base, Ben Rice.
Yeah, great year last year. I look, I think a full season at first base is gonna be very good for him. I think if he starts every single I think look, they re-signed Goldschmidt. I don't like that signing. They should have just had Rice go the whole year. I mean, it's not a bad depth move, I guess. I don't really, but I just I'm not a big fan of it. I think this guy has really nothing left to give. He's actually had a pretty solid spring training so far. I think he's had like 3 home runs, but I don't see that
No,
lasting.
I know he
Um,
plays defense. I disagree with that. I think there's value there. Hits
it's
lefty.
there is, but I want Rice to get like 140 games. I want him to start the whole year. I think he's deserving of starting the whole year. I think he's deserved that, right? And I
Yeah.
think that if he I think he's gonna have a solid season. I'm pretty excited for him. I think he's gonna, we're not gonna do no statistic maxing tonight, but we're gonna give just like a outline. I guess just like a quick,
Whatever we
you
think.
know,
Whatever we're
whatever
thinking.
we think about these players.
Whatever
He's
they
gonna have a
top
good year. I'm excited to watch. I like Ben Rice a lot. Lefty, good swing for the stadium. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do this year. I'm excited.
As am I. I think Ben Rice is a good player. He's gonna be good this year. My only concern is, I think the Yankees had an opportunity this offseason to, instead of having like, okay, an okay catcher and a good first baseman, they could have put Ben Rice at catcher. You probably instantly have maybe the best hitting catcher in the league besides Cal
Yeah.
Raleigh. So, and then get like a Pete Alonso at first base, trade Wells, maybe don't re-sign Bellinger. Maybe Bellinger, instead of Bellinger, you have Alonso. And now you have the first base catcher combo is like the best in the league. And now it's just like,
Yeah.
Wells is average and Rice is good. So I think
Mhm.
there's still a missed opportunity. But I'm excited. I think he's a good player, Rice. But I think
I
there's the
agree. I
missed
agree.
opportunity if you really developed him as a catcher to be the best catcher in the league.
Yeah, and he showed some glimpses of, like, being a
He
pretty
was
solid
fine.
defensive
He was,
catcher. He
he
was not a
wasn't
bad defensive catcher at all. I think he held his own there. He was pretty good at framing. I think he had some good
He
framing
ended up starting like
statistics.
40 games there that last year. They trusted him to do it.
He wasn't bad. He did not look, we had Gary Sanchez as our catcher for, like, 4 years, and that guy was the worst defensive catcher. You could
Or
deal with Ben Rice a whole year at catcher. He would be
yeah.
fine. He would do a fine job
Mhm.
compared to what you had in the past. So, yeah, I like Ben Rice. Who's the next player? Second
What's the
base
second?
Jazz, I guess?
Jazz, yeah.
Yeah, and look, I'm not he sucked. I mean, 2 playoffs, he sucked in both of them so far. So look, he's gonna have his record. He's gonna hit 20 home runs. He's gonna have that type of year. Um, Not that high on him. I think he's just not what they need. He has like a hole in his bat. He's very, very streaky. Whatever. Look, Jazz is whatever. He's an exciting player, I guess, has some aura to him. Just I don't know. Like I'm not really that excited to watch him play baseball this year. I gotta be honest. I'm not that. I know you know what you're gonna get from him. You just know already. 240, 20 home runs, and whatever and whatnot. But
He said he's aiming for 50-50 this year, which I think is a little
50,
preposterous.
is
Because he's
he's gotta be. Yeah,
right.
he's on some type. I want what he's taking because that must be a hell of a drug. What he's taking must be a hell of a drug.
Yeah, look, I think though the second baseman market, I think you look around the league, it's not that good. So I think he's a good second baseman
You're
and
right.
stuff. Like he's a good bat at second base. But other than that, like I think the hype train, 50-50, this becomes like a real story that like he can have 50 home runs and 50 stolen
Come on.
bases. It's like preposterous. And he's saying he wants a
50 home
10-year
runs.
contract worth $35 million a year. It's like, all right, goodbye.
You know what? Goodbye. Good
Yep.
luck finding that somewhere else. Good luck finding that in like you probably see him go to like a random team like the Reds or something that's going to sign for like a crazy amount because they want to get like a big time player to get fans to go to the games. It's gonna be like a random team. You know, it's gonna be a random team.
Yeah. So, look, I would say I'm generally excited because I think he's a good second baseman. But other than that, it's not like, he's going to be like the big bat in the lineup this year.
No,
It's like,
he's
whatever.
not. He sucks.
All right,
Not a
let's
big
go
fan.
shortstop. We'll say Volpe for now, and then we'll go to the bench after.
So actually, I saw some reports that he actually might get sent down to AAA to start the season. Is that true? It might be Oswaldo.
Yeah.
That would be something. But I would still give him a go. I guess. I mean, look, this is not really. I think you know what type of player he is at this point. I don't think there's gonna be any like sort of development. Maybe a little better. You hope it gets a little better because he's probably one of the worst hitting shortstops in the league. I think he maybe is the worst one. So you hope it gets a little better. But I just don't. Not that optimistic. Good. I guess not actually good. You can't even say good fielder anymore because he sucked last year. He like really just like what do you have like 20 almost near 20 errors and just like
Yeah.
really bad. He developed like a double clutch, like Andujar style double clutch
Yeah,
and midway through the season. So it's like you can't even say he's a good defender anymore. So it's like, what value does he provide to the team? Really nothing. If he doesn't get better as a hitter and a fielder, like this guy's has to go. He's going to be out of the league soon. So I hope he's a good kid. I hope he has a good year, but I don't see it.
Look, I feel like there's a role for Anthony Volpe, right? I always say hyping him up as the next Jeter was a big problem,
Well,
obviously.
that's
But,
unfair.
one of the things, look, I think there's bottom of the lineup, hitting the 9 hole, stop doing the power pull, try to hit 30 home runs, nonsense, striking out. Like, just literally, I would revise the swing, slap hitter. There have been periods where we've seen him do that, like for months on end, and then he goes back to like uh, swing speed maxing. That's what it's like.
He goes to torpedo maxing too. He's a torpedo
Yes.
cell.
No, I don't want that. I want slap hitter at the bottom of the lineup, and I think he should just accept that that's probably what he's going to be best at.
Yeah, you're right.
Instead of trying to be a 30-30 guy. That's not. I really don't need that. And then hopefully the defense is better. But if he did that, I'd be happy with that.
You're right. You're right. I think you're right. I think he should focus on stealing bases, making more contact, and he could be more valuable than he has been in years past. I think
Yes,
you're right. His focus has to be
exactly.
more on, being that slap hitter guy, that steals a lot of, steals 35, 40 bases a year. And he would provide some value to the team if he was that type of
Yeah,
player.
if
I
it's good
agree.
defense, sure.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan McMahon.
Oh, that's terrible. This guy is terrible. And I don't see the appeal. This guy's I just see like he has another guy with a hole. They just have a ton of guys in this lineup that just have holes in their bats. Just like a guy that just not a good contact guy. I mean, Ryan McMahon, you cannot rely on him, in clutch situations to get a big hit because he's just such a high strikeout potential type of guy. Good fielder, very good fielder. Provides actually some really good
Yes.
defense at third base. He's probably a Gold Glove candidate every single year he's been in the league. So he's a really good fielder. But offensively, you're going to get like a 220 guy. You're going to get maybe 20 home runs because of his swing. He's a lefty at the stadium. But other than that, I don't see a big year for McMahon. I see a guy that's like a okay 7-8 hitter, like okay. But he's not gonna have a big year. I'm not. My expectations for McMahon are like not as low as Volpe, but pretty close.
Yeah, I don't see how he's like overall going to be like a really net positive. The Yankees are doing the propaganda machine right now. They're saying he switched his stance. He looks great. He's making more contact. But like to me,
By the way, his stance looks exactly the same as it did last year. There's no difference. If you actually look, it's the same fucking stance. What are they talking about?
look, I'm just not generally a believer in like this guy's 32 years old. You have a lot of sample size, 10 years of sample size at the MLB level. And now you're telling me he's going to be like this totally different like hitter for average. This is what he is. He's like a career 720 OPS. I bet you that's what he's going to be this year. And he provides plus defense. Ends up being an average player. He's not like an advantage to have on your baseball team as like the starting third baseman. So
No,
look, it's fine. Maybe I hope they fix him. Like that'd be great, but not expecting it.
yeah, they're not gonna fix him, Matthew. Come on, it's ridiculous. Like you're right. I think you said it the best. The propaganda machine is back, and it's better
No,
than ever.
we'll get to the propaganda machine because there are a lot of guys that have been. Jazz is one of them. Them publishing the 50-50.
So I don't even. The thing is, though, you cannot pay attention to these storylines. It's just complete and utter bullshit. And like I used to play fiddle to these. I used to like play into like, oh my god, this guy new stats, always gonna have a big year. I don't even pay attention to this shit anymore. It's not even worth it. Don't waste your time.
I still read them, and sometimes
It's all
like,
slop. It's all slop.
I
It's
feel
all
like
slop.
slap myself in the face. I'm like, oh, it's like this
It's
is
slop. It's all slop.
this is
Don't
not
listen to it.
Brian Hoke. This is Brian Cashman writing this. I have to
You
remember.
know it is. Yeah, Brian Hoke. That guy's the biggest. I mean, second to Aaron Boone being a mouthpiece of the organization. Brian Hoke's a big mouthpiece.
I like
They
Hoke,
control that
but
guy. Everything
I
he
like
says.
Hokie, but, yeah, you're
Come
right.
on.
All of the
They
guys.
control.
We'll get to it, but
But I would say Hoke especially is controlled by the organization. I think him especially. I think some guys more than others, but I think Hoke's probably the top guy that's being controlled. I mean, Brian Cashman essentially writes his articles. I would say.
it's unbelievable. We'll get to more of it. All right, Wells.
Yeah, I don't like him. I think he's just so Probably look, it's gonna be the same thing as like Ryan McMahon, like hole in his bat. Can't rely on him in clutch situations because of him not being a contact guy. Gonna get you 25 home runs because they're in the stadium. 25 home runs. Other than that, not excited to watch this guy play baseball. It's pretty exhausting. He just high swing and miss guy, and good defender at catcher, I guess. Good defender. Pretty good at framing. Has some good. I think he's like pretty good analytically. He's pretty good defensive catcher. So he provides value there. But from just like at the plate, just doesn't move. It doesn't move me. I don't see the vision to have him around much longer. To be honest with you.
Look, I'm going to disagree with that last point because I think he's better than what they've had at catcher. They've had Trevino was like just like defensively,
Yeah.
got nothing from him offensively. Sanchez before that, like even like they haven't had a good catcher since Posada. I think he's average. He's young enough to the point where it's like, the hitting is average. It's whatever 720 OPS. That's average, and then defense is good. And for a catcher, that's like fine. Like again, the propaganda machine where it's like, oh, this guy, we expect so much more from Austin Wells. He should be a 30 home run guy. Like if this guy came out of nowhere, if they traded this guy for this guy randomly, I think I'd be happy with his production. It's only in comparison to the fact that this guy's supposed to be like a generational hitter catcher that it's like disappointing, I would say.
The thing is, though, it's like, okay, like, yeah, it's better than what they've had in years past, but at the same time, you could have upgraded. You could have got JT Realmuto. I don't know. I'm actually looking at what I don't know what he signed for, but you could have got him free agency. I think he would have been a better move.
Well,
I think
I would have done Pete Alonso and I would have put Rice at catcher.
I would have just. I think that's the right move. That's the correct move. Yeah, Pete Alonso that signed for actually a reasonable contract. It wasn't a crazy contract.
Bellinger.
And yeah, same. I think I would have rather done Alonso over Bellinger. I think I would have.
Wanted the righty balance. I mean, the lineup is balanced.
You're right. So, yeah. And by the way, now the lineup's too lefty heavy. Isn't that crazy? After being so righty heavy for so many years, now it's too lefty heavy. It's like it's crazy. It's just like, and then you sign Bellinger to this big contract. So like that was utter bullshit as well. Oh, Cashman, we're looking for righty hitters. Oh, what'd you get me this offseason? You got us no new righty hitters. What'd you get us? Nothing, Brian. What'd you get? Goldschmidt. Even the guy from the Athletics, that guy Seth Jones, he's a lefty.
He's a lefty. Yeah, well, he's not a lefty. All right, let's go outfield. We'll start with Bellinger, I guess.
Yeah, no, look, he's a great player. I think he's a very valuable player to the team. Great defender, obviously. Great hit. Had a really good season last year, close to 100 RBIs, 25 home runs, 270, 280. He's going to probably have probably a similar year, maybe a little worse because maybe it's not a contract year, maybe a little less motivation for these guys. You see after they sign these big contracts, a little bit of a regression maybe is to be expected, but I think he's still going to have a really good year. And excited to watch him play. I think he's a very exciting player to watch. I'm happy that he's back. But for me, it wasn't like a must sign. Like they could have done other things, and because that was like by the way, because we knew if they signed Bellinger, that was going to be their only big move, and that's what ended up happening. So that to me is disappointing. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was a good move. But the fact that it was their only big move, that's a disappointing part. But can't take away how much of a good player Bellinger is. Really excited. I'm excited. I think he's gonna be in for a good year.
Again, I don't think. Well, we'll get to the bench, but I hope Escara isn't the back catcher. I want to see Rice at catcher. I hope Rice is also
I agree.
Catcher. So I think in that vein, it's important to keep Bellinger's versatility too. Play him those starts to maybe potentially first base, center field. I'm low. We'll get to Grisham next. I'm not really high on Grisham, so I think the versatility is important. Judge in the outfield, Judge could play right field every day. Stanton's probably going to end up on the IL. Then Judge is going to be DH. You have to put Bellinger in right field. So the versatility is also important. Like it's inevitable that he's probably going to need to play these other positions. So I think that's valuable as well. But the hitter, I think we know what he is at this point. Obviously, incredible start to the career, like terrible next 2 years, and has rebounded since like somewhere in the middle. And that's what he is at this point. So I think he's a good player. So
yes.
Happy they brought back a good player. Not happy that it's the only big move they made.
Yep. Obviously. Agree. Yeah.
All right, Grisham.
Trent Grisham. We love Grish Daddy. I don't love Grish Daddy at the price they got him at. I don't think anybody likes what they got. I mean, just a terrible price. Just offering him that. What was it? It was the what do you call it? It was a qualifying offer. Really bad. Just bad decision. You could have got this guy probably a fraction of the price, maybe half of that price, maybe at 10 million instead of 20 million. What do they get him at? 22 million?
22 million.
Disaster. But I mean, look, I think he's a good player. Plays hard. I like the good character. I think obviously funny personality. He got the nickname from our good friend Vinny, Grish Daddy. We love Grish. Look, love Grish Daddy. Can't fault him. Look, if I was Grish Daddy, I would have taken that qualifying offer. Why wouldn't you, right? I mean, that's a great I'm not going to blame the player. I'm going to blame the organization. And I'm rooting for Grish Daddy. Like him a lot. Hopefully he has. I don't think he's going to have as good of a year as he did last year, but I think he's still going to have a solid year. He's a solid player, but for 22 million, it's like just the worst value. Just so bad. But I think he's going to provide some good value to this team. I'm excited to see him. He's fun to watch.
Look, I think he's worth slightly less, probably in the open market than 22
I,
million.
I think 15, maybe 15.
I don't think for 1 year it's that bad necessarily. I just think last year was an outlier. If you then you resign Bellinger, and then you have Dominguez and Spencer Jones anyway. You play one of those guys. I just didn't think they need to bring him back. That's my point. I'm
Yeah.
going to look at last year as the outlier. Look, you have a big enough sample size now. He's been in the league for 6 years. You had one good year. So I'm going to treat it as an outlier. I think the defense is actually overrated. I think it's like he's supposed to
Yeah, he
it's not
just
that fast. His range isn't that good. Like he's good at tracking the ball. Like the ball, he doesn't like drop the ball. The ball ends up in his glove. But
yeah,
I think he's overrated center fielder as
I
well.
agree.
I'm down on Grisham this year. I'll make a bold prediction. I'll say he's eventually like usurped by, let's call it, I don't know, maybe they trade Dominguez, Spencer Jones at some point this year.
Okay. Hey, the thing with Spencer Jones, we've seen him. I think he has like 3 home runs already this spring training. The bottom line is the guy still has a big problem, Matthew. Strikeout problems are it's like I think he has like 8 strikeouts, 3 home runs in his 11 at bats. It's really bad. I mean, this guy, I just don't see him being a long-term solution if you're going to have that strikeout problem. The guy could be a really, I mean, his stance, he just looks like a very intimidating force at the plate, Matthew. The guy's a good player. Look, he went on that run, I think last year in AAA. It was like, I'm pretty sure he got like a home run, like 7 straight games. He went on like some crazy run like that.
Yeah.
But just you got to figure out the strikeout issue, or else you're not going to be a everyday player in the MLB. You're just not going to last, Matthew. You're not going to last. You're gonna be like a Joey Gallo. You're just gonna maybe have to switch to pitching. And by the way, like I met Spencer Jones at a dinner at a gala. Great guy. Wish him nothing but the best. But Spencer, work on your contact. You're not going to survive in this league if you're going to strike out every other at bat. It's not going to work out for you. Sorry, like it's just not. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope he takes over for Grisham. That'll be exciting to see. I mean, he's already 24. By the way, the Yankees take forever to get these prospects developed. He's 24 years old. This guy. I mean, are we serious here?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just unreal. Why does it take them? Why does it take these players to get to 25 before they're in the league and playing for the team? I don't get it. Outside of Dominguez, it's like every guy's 25 when they start.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And I think, look, Yankees propaganda machine, another shout out this week. Did you see that article that compared him to Ohtani?
Yeah, no, I saw it. And guess what? I was kind of pulled in a little bit because the stance is kind of similar. But you just can't play fiddle to that bull. You really can't. You cannot play.
Look, he should learn from Judge had the same like Judge is the right comparison because Judge actually did have strikeout problems. Came up 2016 pass.
No, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad.
Maybe probably as bad.
I don't think it's bad, man.
More pop than Judge in some ways. Like those home runs are tanks.
You know, dude, like he has insane power. Like if I know, like you see on like the prospect, they give everyone a grade. He has like a 90 power. He probably has the highest power grade out of any prospect in the league. The guy is unbelievable. The raw talent that he has, it's just too raw, Matt. It's too raw. And you got to develop this guy. Can you trust this organization is going to develop one of their prospects? I don't. I can't trust it.
No end of story. This guy, whatever. And stop comparing him to Shohei Ohtani. Just say it should be a surprise. When these guys come up, it should be a surprise. Wow, this guy was good. Like then you'll get a lot of credit for developing these guys.
Yeah, I know. It's just the thing is they're product of being in a big market. So the bottom line is every prospect is going to get hyped up. That's the bottom. That's just how the media works, and that's how hyping
them up.
No, he is. You know, he definitely feeds into that. But I just think that your New York team, every single first round pick that you have is going to get hyped up in some capacity. It's just the bottom line, just the product of the market that you're in, unfortunately.
All right, Judge.
I mean, yeah, he's going to probably look. I'll say right now, he's going to win another MVP.
Wow,
he is. Look, obviously, he's getting older now. He's 32 now, Matthew. So he's getting. I mean, that's crazy. Maybe 30. I think he's going to turn 33 this season. So getting on the older. Wait, is he 34? How old is
30? This is age 34 season.
Okay, so yeah, getting up there. I mean, you wonder how many great years, how many MVP level years does he have left in him? Because with a guy that's his stature, you wonder if he's going to last a lot. If he's going to have that longevity as most guys do. But I just don't. Well, look, I think this year is going to be another great, excellent year. I see an OPS over 1,000. I see over 40 home runs. I see a big year, over 300 average, and I see him being in the MVP race because he is the best hitter on the planet right now. Him and Ohtani, it's pretty close, but I give Judge a slight edge, and I'm excited to watch him because Matthew. The bottom line is it's very it's exciting to watch it, but at the same time, it's also sad they're wasting his prime, and
Yep.
they haven't won a championship yet with one of the best hitters we've ever seen. It's sad at the same time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, I think Judge is one of those guys that's good that kind of defies aging just because of the way he approaches things. I know, like I don't think necessarily he's the nicest guy, but I don't really care because he's addicted to hitting. He like
Yeah.
it makes adjustments every year. The stance is different every single year. Look at his
Yeah,
stance.
he's so yeah, I know.
2017. It's unrecognizable. He popped 52 home runs that year. You would think, oh, just keep the same thing, whatever's working.
Yeah.
Tinkers literally game to game. Addicted to hitting, addicted to getting better. Look, even when you're older, like the power of somebody who's 6 foot 6 inches, 280 pounds and 35 is still more than somebody who's 24.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So look, I trust him.
You know what, though, Matthew? In today's day and age, these guys have the best, diet. They have everything going for them. Everything just going for them. Tom Brady played until he was 50, Matthew. There is plenty of just a lot of modalities that have these guys ready to perform, peak performance until like they're pretty old. So I think there's just in today's day and age, it's a little different. I think he's going to be he's going to be good until 40. I think just there's so much new stuff that these guys do. Just the program that they're in. And just like he's going to be fine. I am not concerned with Aaron Judge aging. I'm not really concerned at all because, as you said, he is a guy that is willing to make the adjustments necessary. You see every year the stance, every game, every week the stance is different. So this guy, I have no concerns with him aging, no concerns at all because of what's available to these guys today with the nutrition diets and everything, all the information that's available to them to make sure their body's in the best shape for as long as possible. And also the fact that he is open to making adjustments. And that to me makes me just not scared at all for him to age. Not at all.
Now, I will say I do think they should explore moving him to first base just as he gets older. But
I think like age 40 you consider, maybe like 39, 40. I think he has another like 4 years in the outfield that will be fine.
Look, yeah, just floating it out there. And look, then
it's not a bad idea.
Like the best hitter in the league now, first base, outfield
Mhm.
spot. Look, different things you could do. But yeah, Stanton now.
Oh God. I mean, the guy just said that quote that just went viral, Matthew. You can't open up, bottles. He can't, everything hurts. He can't do anything, can't get out of bed. I mean, he's like, oh, but I want to play a full season. You're not going to play a half a season. You're going to play maybe 40 games, 50 games if you're lucky. I mean, you say something like that, and you expect that we're going to be excited for you. I mean, this guy is completely broken. This guy tennis elbow. Isn't that crazy? The guy that is a all-class athlete. This guy is jacked. He looks like he could be a bodybuilder. And the thing that breaks him is tennis elbow. That is unbelievable. You can't make that up. The thing that this guy could lift, this guy probably deadlifted like 600 pounds, squatted 350. And the thing that does it to him, the thing that's probably going to derail his career, tennis elbow. I mean, it's unreal to me. Unreal. Can't open a water bottle anymore.
Yeah.
Holy downfall. Holy downfall.
Here's my counter argument. You say he's broken. Last year that it didn't look like he was broken last year. Probably one of his best seasons as a Yankee. The playoffs wasn't that good, but 970 something OPS was really good. I think he's battling out there. I respect it. Look, he could get the surgery right now to fix his elbow tendons. They said it's a surgery, whatever. It's like a 6-month recovery, be out for the year. And he's choosing not to do it. I have to respect it.
I do. No, you have to respect it. Obviously, the guy, I think he's another guy where he's a great guy, never makes excuses. Always, when the fans booed him, he's always the first to say, "Well, I would boo myself." Like, he never makes any sort of excuse. So I do respect that. He's a great guy. He's going to do everything in his power to be on the field. But the bottom line is, I think he's not going to play a full season. We know he's going to have a couple IL stints. It's going to be tennis elbow, whatever, general soreness. The Yankees love general soreness, and there's going to be some IL stints in the cards for Stanton this year. But you're right, had a great year last year. I mean, 970 in 70 games, 970. What I have here, 944 OPS, 24 home runs in 77 games. Pretty strong there. I remember
that's like a 50-something home run pace.
It was a really good season, but the guy's 36 now, tennis elbow, says he can't open up a bottle of water. I mean, it's
concerning. Last year, I don't know.
You didn't hear him say it. I mean, it's hard not to be concerned. It's just hard not to be concerned with.
Yeah, that's fair.
Him saying things like that. It's hard not to be. So
yeah, look, I agree. IL stint in the cards. It's been every single year. This is just the way it is. I take issue with broken. Was he broken last year? The same injury last year wasn't
You're
broken.
right. No, you're right. No, it's a good counterpoint. But him saying that, I feel like he wouldn't be saying that if it didn't get worse. I think. Like, why would he say something like it? If it was like the same same thing that he was doing with last year, why would he say that? Why would he say like why would he feel the need to say that? I feel like it like sets up like an excuse.
He shouldn't have said it. He shouldn't have said
You know,
it.
it was bad luck, really bad quote. Well, honestly, one of the worst quotes we've seen by a Yankee in some time. I think.
All right, now let's just do the bench as a whole to save some time. We have Goldschmidt, Escara, Rosario, and I guess Dominguez. I don't know who's going to be the.
I would say better than years past. I do like Rosario a lot as a bench player. I think he's pretty solid. He's very good against lefties. I would start every game against a lefty. I would start this guy at third base.
Over McMahon. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's. I think they're probably. I mean, look, it's the obvious move. Or the Yankees
Rangers
always do the obvious move? No, they never do the obvious move. But that is the obvious move to start Rosario against any lefty. So I like him. That the bench is better than years past. Dominguez is a solid bench guy, switch hitter, so you have that versatility there with him. So I think that the bench is pretty solid. Escara sucks. I don't see anything with Escara. I just this guy's probably just gonna maybe get like 20 plate appearances in the year. Like they're not gonna pinch hit him up there unless he's the only guy.
I just don't think he should be on the roster. Like Ben Wright should be back in captain.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree. I don't see a need for him, but I guess like who else is going to be on the roster instead of him? Who else is going to be on the roster?
There are a lot of guys. Who? Dominguez, they're going to probably start in AAA. Oswaldo Cabrera, they're going to maybe start in AAA. Volpe,
well, he still has some rehab to do. Right? Cabrera still has some rehab to do, I think.
But Dominguez, they're going to start in AAA.
I mean, look, if they're not going to play him, I think you should. I don't think he should be sitting on the bench all year. Maybe that's what you do.
I don't think he should be sitting on the bench. I think probably he should take reps from like Grisham and spell.
I agree. Yeah, you could definitely work with. Yes, I do agree with that. DH. Yeah, because he's going to be hurt. The bottom line is Stanton is not going to be your permanent DH this year. So you're going to have the guys like Dominguez they're going to get their opportunities. I think that he's going to get the.
Yeah, it's inevitable. One of these guys, Grisham doesn't do well. Whatever. Bellinger has to play first base. A ton of different things could happen. So
absolutely.
I think he'll find his way. Look, I don't know. I think Rosario's good, and I think Goldschmidt is fine. It's like an interesting.
No, it's a solid. It's like maybe like a C+ bench, probably B-.
And the other two positions, it's whatever. All right,
it's whatever.
Let's move on. Starting rotation. We'll start with just I guess I don't know. We'll give them all Rodon, Cole. Start with those two. We'll just do two at a time or something.
Who's like the rotate? What's going to be the rotation at the beginning of the year? It's going to be Rodon as their ace.
Well, no, Rodon is out.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Wow, who's their ace right now?
Littler, Weathers, Heel, Warren.
Oh boy,
who's the last guy?
I think it's just like a bullpen game.
No. They have somebody.
My reaction to that is yikes, because that's a really. I mean, look. Once you get those guys like Cole,
Fried, obviously Fried. Forgot about Fried.
Max Fried. Yeah, then with the addition of
better,
Fried,
right?
that list, it's much better.
Sounds better.
Look, once you get Rodon and Cole back, it's and I heard some. I mean, obviously the Yankees propaganda. Cole's pitching 97. His fastball has the same life as it did prior to his injury. So it's like the propaganda machine is firing on all cylinders. It seems this week. But I think once you get those guys back, it's going to be a solid rotation. No concerns with the rotation, honestly. It's just will these? My only concern is will these guys stay healthy? Because Rodon has shown year after year he has always a lot of injury concerns.
He's been healthy the last 2 years now.
Yeah, but Matthew, before that, he had a bad elbow. This guy is not reliable. You can't obviously the past 2 years reliable, but still not overall not reliable. So can't really depend on him too much with the health. Garrett Cole, I think once he comes back, I think it's going to take him some time. There might be some hiccups when he first returns. It's going to take him some time, but I think that he's ultimately going to be back to close to his form. I don't think he's going to be 100% of what he was, but maybe like 90%, which is a great addition. Cam Schlittler, I'm excited to see Schlittler, a whole year of Schlittler. That's going to be pretty exciting because he had what a great playoff performance against the Red Sox. That was one of the best performances I've seen from a pitcher in a single game. So that was awesome. So Luis Heel, I have some concerns with him. I think he has a lot of walk issues.
Yep.
Still really hasn't figured. I mean, has gone worse ever since he's come into the league. Those walk rates. So I think he still has to figure that out. I feel like once. And by the way, he's not pitching as fast as he did as well. That's another thing.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's a big problem. Yeah, ever since that injury, really, he came into the league. He sat like 97. Now he's sitting like 94, 93. It's like very concerning.
Like 99 his first few.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no, it's very concerning. So we'll see with him. It's like a wait and see with Heel. I'm not gonna really rely on him too much. He's not a bad 5 star. It's not a bad 5 star to have on your team, Luis Heel. And then Weathers is gonna be an interesting. We'll see. Throws hard, lefty. Liked what I saw from him in the last spring training game. I think it was last night. So it looks like he has electric stuff, but is it? I mean, it's a guy that has a career ERA of like 4.5, so you really can't get too excited. But definitely like yeah, it's exciting. I think that was a good move. It was a good move as like a 4 or 5 star. That's pretty good. A hard throwing lefty. It's not a bad thing to add to your
Yeah.
team.
I actually like the rotation. I think it's gonna be a good rotation with Cole back. Cole, I would say scholar of the game. So even if
Yeah,
the velocity, the movement isn't necessarily there, like he's gonna find a way to get outs. And we kind of always knew this. Like as he aged, he would just like he's gonna get outs. So I
mhm.
like that. Freed as well out there. Still only 31 or something. So still trust him. I really respect Rodon. I say this a lot. We came to New York, had like just about the worst start you could have. New York, terrible. His first year, better second year, was like not great, but was better, trending in the right direction. Last year was just excellent. 33 starts, pitching through elbow pain. Ton of respect for that. And then you have Weathers. Look, Weathers going to blow his arm out. He's throwing 101 in spring
I
training.
know he's got to watch
I think
out.
that's a bit of a problem. Schlittler, I'm concerned about this little mini injury he has with the lat. I don't know. It screams Luis Heel from last year with like, oh, it's not a big deal, lat, and then the
Yeah,
guy's out till August. You never know.
yeah,
These things, it's like it's not a big deal, and then suddenly you see he's on the 60-day IL. So,
I know.
and then
You're right.
who are the last two guys? Oh, Warren. I like Warren. I think Warren's really good 5 starter. Uh, gets last year, I think, like really persevered through some bad outings, like a lot of good outings when they
He's
needed it.
solid. He always gives you like a good length, very good
Yeah.
length. Always gives you like even if it's like he gives you like 6 earned runs, he gives you like 4 innings, which is like what you need kind of to give
Mhm.
the bullpen a rest. So I agree with you. He's a pretty good
I
five
think
star
he's
to have.
better this year too. I think like
He
more,
will be.
young last year, they really relied on him. And then Heel's got to be better. Like, need more velocity. He was really exciting in 2024. It just wasn't last year. Last year, the numbers were
Mhm.
okay, but the walk rates,
He was terrible.
the expected ERA was very high. So I named 7 guys. So assuming the rotation is fully healthy by May or in May or June, which it's supposed to be, obviously somebody will probably be on the injured list. I'm most interested in seeing which 2 guys they move to the bullpen. And my guess right now would be Heel and I'll say Weathers because Weathers is throwing hard. I think
Yeah.
Warren's a contender as well, but I like Warren as
Mhm.
a starter.
I like Warren because he has a what does he have like a 5-6 pitch mix.
Yes,
I think he
exactly. I
has
was
more
saying
pitches.
like
I
a
think
mix.
Weathers only has like 3 pitches, like a slider, changeup, fastball. So I think that's probably the way to go to have him as like a long reliever. Once
Mhm.
you get all those guys back healthy, I think that's probably the right move. But we'll see what they do. It's gonna be interesting. They could roll with a 6 man rotation. They could do that. Could
They
be
should
possible.
honestly consider doing that with Cole
They
coming
could.
off, Rodon's still a little hurt. It's not a bad idea, and you
Yeah.
have the guys to do it. It's not like your 6 guys like it's like a throwaway
Yeah,
game.
I would honestly I would consider it. Especially when you're like when you don't have a lot of like when you're on like those stretches where you have like 10 games in a row, do a 6 man. And when you have a day off, do a 5 man. Like bro, like
Right.
work yourself over, around that. Like they're not that in Matthew, they're not that innovative. That's the problem here. They're not
Yeah.
gonna think of doing something like that. That's like
Mhm.
that's not gonna be an option for them. It's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna roll 5 man rotation, 5 man. Like it's not gonna be. They're not even gonna
Mhm.
consider it, which is a sad part. But it
Look, I
would
think
make
the
sense to
depth
give
is
your
better.
guys Rodon, Cole a rest instead of them having 32 starts. 25 starts and they're good to go, ready to fire some bullets in the playoffs.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I think I like the depth this year. I think that this is something they just guys, it's not like credit to Cashman. I guess he brought in Weathers, but like guys are more healthy this year. But Yarborough's the 8 starter, Blackburn's the 9 star. Blackburn sucks, but like at least he's like a real pitcher who's the 9 starter. Like that's better than Cookie Carrasco was the 4th starter last year. So I think it's
Yeah.
better.
Oh God, Cookie. I forgot we had Cookie. Poor old Cookie, man. Like he was a great guy, but just didn't have anything left in the tank when he came over to the Yankees. Nothing left. He was on E, empty. Nothing left in the tank.
Uh, all right, last thing, bullpen. You start. I have big thoughts on the bullpen.
Just look, yeah, Bednar and a bunch of like just question marks, I guess. I mean, Cruz is not bad. Tim Hill, Paul Blackburn, I mean, just a bunch of question marks here. Like, what? I mean, this bullpen, I think, has a lot of room. I think the trade deadline is going to be where you're going to look to improve this bullpen like they did last year. Doval looks terrible. So I mean, ever since he's come over to the Yankees, I think he's been terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
looks good with the Giants. I mean, has good stuff on paper, good sinker, 99-mile-an-hour sinker. So on paper, he's a good pitcher, but
Right.
has
100%.
not delivered here and has not and doesn't it looks like the same Doval in spring training so far. So the bullpen has a lot of question marks. I'm heavily concerned with the bullpen. Very concerned.
Yeah. I'm really concerned about the bullpen as well. I think we're gonna have a big, like, seventh, eighth inning problem. You have Bednar, you maybe have Cruz, Hill, Doval, but none of those guys should be like bottom of the bullpen guys. Doval, maybe if he's right, is like a seventh or eighth inning guy, but hasn't been right on the Yankees. And then the bottom of the bullpen is like really concerning. I would say, like, okay, it's whatever, Blackburn, Yarborough, whatever. Those are long relievers. Don't really care. Not that interested. But you look at these are guys. There's three other spots. Jake Bird's probably gonna get one of them, which is we saw a little bit of Jake Bird last year. Wasn't pretty. Has career numbers. Cores are terrible. This guy probably last year pitched Brent Hedrick, just like random. And then the Rule 5 guy they picked, Cade Winquest, Yankees propaganda machine going. He's a great curveball, this, that. He pitched in single A last year. Now he's got to be on the roster the entire year this year.
I know. No, it's crazy.
So, look, I don't know. Maybe they saw something. Maybe there's something to be had there. I don't know. I doubt it. Other guys are this guy, Angel Chivili, who was on the Rockies last year. Yankees propaganda machine. Another shout out here. They're saying this guy is lively, has a lively arm, throws 98, 99. How come last year he had a 7.06 ERA in 43 games played? That's a big sample size where he had a 7.06 ERA. That's not impressive. Look, I think you have a problem after Bednar. Maybe look, the Yankees have been good at finding some random guys to tap into talent, and maybe you'll get that with one or two people. Maybe the Rule 5 guy, maybe Angel Chivili, but you have 9 guys in the bullpen, and I have right now, some bottom of the guy Hill. Those are bullpen caliber.
Decent mid-tier guys. Yeah,
right. But the other 5 spots, maybe you fill one of them with like a reclamation project or a surprise, one or two of them, and one of the other ones is a long reliever. But you have 3 open spots where I feel like it's be a big problem. And in big games where you're relying on the bullpen, maybe 10 games in a row, you're gonna see these guys in like the 8th inning, and it's not gonna be pretty.
I think you covered the bullpen pretty well, Matthew. I think I really don't have much else to add. I think you went through it pretty well, pretty thorough. Look, we're already an hour and 17 minutes in here. I can't. Every time we start a podcast, and before this one, I was like, oh, it's gonna be 45 minutes. We don't have that much to talk about. 1 hour and 7, over an hour, well over an hour. It's just like we talk and we yap and we yap, and before you know it, it's almost 2 hours have gone by. It's actually nuts. So it's gonna end it here. Probably gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a long hiatus that we've been on here, but happy to be back. We're gonna try to post more consistently. We'll try our best. Every couple weeks we'll post a podcast. Maybe like every month we'll do. I think that's good because things slow down. Like now things are gonna slow. I mean, obviously we're gonna have the Knicks playoffs. Rangers aren't gonna make the playoffs, so you're not gonna have that to talk about. But once the Knicks are out or win the championship, it's gonna be the dark era, just baseball and nothing really. Hey Matthew, you know what though? We have March Madness. We have a lot of stuff to look forward to now. Olympics are over though, but now it's just March Madness, NBA, NHL playoffs, and then it's the dark age. So gotta enjoy the good action while it lasts, because then we just have baseball, and then it's pretty shitty. So, we'll try our best to upload more consistently. But appreciate you guys for watching, sticking with us all hour and 18 minutes. That's hey, if you made it to this point, thank you so much. If you made it to this point, if you made it to this point, just you're just you're a G. You're not jester. The people that left before this are all jesters, and we don't really advocate for that. We don't support that. But if you made it this far, thank you.
Yep. Thank you as always. Great episode.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in the next one.